Pete fell ill, and Justin's call brought me rushing to the hospital. I discovered that Justin had allowed Pete to consume a massive amount of unhealthy food, something completely against his usual strict rules. This sparked a confrontation between us, fueled by my anger and concern for Pete's well-being. Justin's behavior was confusing. His attempts to justify his actions and his odd defensiveness raised my suspicions. So, why did Justin abandon his usual parenting style? Was it simply a lapse in judgment, or was there another reason behind his actions? And what will be the lasting consequences of this night, both for Pete's health and for the fragile trust between Justin and me? "You have some nerve, Mr. Hunt," I said, my voice low and dangerous, "to imply that Pete's illness was my fault? After you let him gorge himself on junk food?" Justin straightened up, his expression surprised, then wary. "Nora, I didn't mean it that way." "Oh, really?" I cut him off, taking a step closer, because it sure sounded like you were trying to shift the blame. Before he could respond, I acted. Years of training and a lifetime of pent-up frustration fueled my strike. My fist connected with his left shoulder, the impact echoing in the relatively quiet hallway. Justin gasped, his eyes widening in shock. He instinctively cradled his injured limb. "That's for your careless parenting," I snarled. He looked at me, a mix of pain and disbelief in his eyes. Then his lips curved into a slow, infuriatingly charming smile. "You're quite something when you're angry, Miss Smith." "Don't," I warned, taking another step forward. "Don't you dare try to sweet-talk your way out of this." But he ignored my warning. He reached out, his hand snaking around my waist, and pulled me close. My reaction was swift and decisive. My punch, fueled by a renewed surge of fury, landed on the same spot as before. Justin cried out, this time in genuine pain, his eyes flashing with a mixture of agony and something akin to awe. Now I glared at him, my fists clenched at my sides, my chest heaving. "If that ever happens again, Mr. Hunt," I said, my voice a chilling promise, "I swear you'll regret it." With that pronouncement, I turned on my heel and strode back into Pete's room, leaving Justin alone in the hallway with his throbbing shoulder and a strange mix of emotions I couldn't quite decipher. 10 minutes later, Chester arrived, his face a mask of concern. He carefully examined Justin's shoulder in the hallway. Well, Chester said, his voice laced with amusement. "Looks like someone roughed you up, big brother." Justin grunted, cradling his injured limb. "A doctor would be preferable right now, Chester." Chester chuckled. "Oh, come on. You know I'm practically a medical marvel. Besides, who needs a fancy doctor when you have me?" He prodded Justin's shoulder gently. "Seriously, though, who did this? There aren't many who can." He was right. Justin was a formidable opponent. It was. "Worth it," Justin replied, a strange smile playing on his lips. Chester blinked, thoroughly perplexed. "Worth it? You're happy about being injured? You're a weirdo, Justin." He shook his head, a mixture of concern and disbelief in his eyes, and proceeded to try and fix Justin's shoulder. Once his joint was back in place, Justin began the slow, careful walk back to Pete's ward. He cautiously rotated his arm, testing its range of motion. As expected, when he reached the room, he found me still there. I had fallen asleep on the sofa beside Pete's bed. My eyes were closed, my dark hair spread out against the cushions. Curled up on the sofa, I appeared almost fragile, a stark contrast to the fierce woman he'd just encountered in the hallway. A wave of something unreadable passed over Justin's face. He had a sudden urge to protect me, to care for me. Yet he knew that the moment I opened my eyes, that fragile facade would vanish, replaced by my usual sharp intelligence and unwavering strength. Justin softened his steps, his gaze lingering on me. He checked on Pete first. His son was sleeping soundly, his breathing even. After ensuring Pete was comfortable, Justin hesitated, then removed his jacket, walked over to the sofa, and gently draped it over me. It was bright and sunny when I finally woke up. Pete was sitting up in bed, obediently eating his cereal. I stretched, feeling the stiffness in my muscles, and started to get up. But as I shifted, the jacket on my shoulders slipped off and fell to the floor. The sight of the black, impeccably tailored suit jacket made me pause, a flicker of recognition in my eyes. I yawned and stood up, trying to shake off the lingering grogginess. Pete looked at me, his voice small. "Dad had a meeting this morning, so he left early." "Where are you going now, Mommy?" I stretched again, my movements slow and deliberate as I shuffled towards the door. "I'm going home." Pete gave me a pleading look. Can you really leave me here all alone in the hospital, Mommy? I glanced back at him, a hint of amusement in my eyes. You're such a little actor. Pete gasped dramatically, clutching his chest. Then he dissolved into giggles. Take care, Mommy. Now that I was leaving, he knew he could indulge in all the forbidden games on his tablet. As I left the ward, a nagging worry tugged at me. I still hadn't been able to reach Solo. I hoped everything was all right. I had just turned the corner when a familiar figure approached. Are you free for a quick chat, Miss Smith? I raised an eyebrow. I nodded, curious. The man asked, What's your relationship with Mr. Hunt? My eyes widened in surprise. The man's question, blunt and direct, hung in the air. Who was this man? Why was he asking? What did he know or suspect? Was I getting in too deep? Was I letting my guard down? And would I regret the dangerous dance I was dancing with Justin Hunt?